The point guard position might be the most demanding role in all of basketball. You're the brain of the operation, the extension of the coach, the difference between chaos and control. And after studying the best point guards in the world, past and present, men and women, I found that the reason they're great isn't just because they're talented scorers or flashy passers. It's because they control everything: the game, the tempo, the team's energy, and even the crowd.
Luka with the step back three. Oh, yeah!
And then just one more for the rodeo. And you say if you don't know.
When you really watch players like Stephen Curry, Magic Johnson, Sue Bird, Luka Doncic, or Chris Paul, it's not their highlights that make them special. It's how they see the game. It's how they manipulate defenses, how they make split-second reads, how they create rhythm out of chaos. Keep watching until the end, because I'll provide a sample workout you can do to become an elite point guard. Let's start with the story behind them. At 6'9", Magic Johnson had the body of a forward, but the mind of a chess player. Back in the 80s, when point guards were supposed to be small and quick, Magic came in and turned the game upside down. He saw things before they happened. A 2-second window to thread a pass between defenders became an instant alley-oop.
The three-point line. They're picking the Lakers high. Pass under to Worthy, and he slam dunks to be fouled by Olden.
His vision created showtime, a style of basketball that was fast, flashy, and full of joy. But underneath all that flair was incredible precision. Every no-look pass was a read. Every fast break was a decision tree that he processed in real time. Then you look at Stephen Curry, who didn't just change basketball, he changed how it's played globally. His shooting range stretched defenses beyond what anyone thought possible.
Was a buck last year. 1 second left, and I tell you what, Steph still can't be stopped.
But what makes Curry elite isn't just his accuracy, it's his movement. He's constantly relocating, running off screens, sprinting through defenders, and doing it all with perfect balance. That takes more than skill, it takes conditioning and timing. His ability to stay in motion for entire quarters wears down defenders and opens up shots for everyone else. Curry's game is chaos disguised as control, and that's exactly what makes him unstoppable.
Three-point shooter.
Maladon's going to be a good point guard in this league.
Steph Curry dropping in another three.
Sue Bird might not have had the explosive highlights of some of her peers, but she mastered the art of decision-making. She built her legacy on consistency, on being the calm in every storm. Every possession she controlled had a rhythm to it. She knew when to attack, when to slow things down, and how to bring out the best in her teammates.
The last five. Oh, McMagor, beautiful pass.
Off the court, she became a blueprint for leadership in women's basketball, not just through words, but through example. She showed that greatness isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet confidence, repetition, and discipline stacked over decades. And then you've got Luka Doncic. Luka doesn't play fast. He doesn't jump the highest, but he controls time. Watch him play. He toys with defenders. He'll come off a screen at half speed, pause, watch the defender overcommit, and then explode just enough to create a shot or open a pass. His ability to manipulate pace, to slow down when everyone else is rushing, is what makes him elite.
He gives it right back. Schroeder on Doncic. Three-pointer on its way for the top. It's good.
Luka plays like an old soul in a young body, and he's proving that IQ can be more dangerous than athleticism. Chris Paul, on the other hand, is the definition of precision. For nearly 2 decades, CP3 has been the standard for how a true floor general should play. Every dribble he takes has purpose. Every possession is a puzzle he's solving in real time. His handle, his mid-range game, his ability to control the flow of an offense. They're all products of insane repetition. Thousands of representatives, thousands of breakdowns, thousands of decisions. He's the player that other players study. And his leadership, both vocal and strategic, raised the IQ level for an entire generation of guards.
Paul, 23 apiece for Phoenix. Here's Chris Paul, wide open.
Their leading scorer here in the first half. Chris Paul finds some room.
What's fascinating is how different all these point guards are stylistically. But underneath those differences, they all share the same DNA. They all have vision. They all master pace. They all elevate everyone around them. They don't just react to the game, they dictate it. Think about it. The best point guards control the flow of every possession. They know when to push the pace and when to slow it down. They constantly scan the floor, checking defensive matchups, identifying help positions, and recognizing mismatches before the defense does. They use their dribble to create angles, shift defenders, and open passing lanes. When a defender overplays, they attack the opposite direction or draw contact to reset the rhythm. They're also in constant communication. You'll see them point out coverages, call out screens, or adjust a teammate's positioning before a play even starts. Off the ball, they study where everyone is and anticipate rotations. In transition, they make quick reads, whether to advance with a pass, attack the rim, or pull it out to organize the offense. Every elite point guard drills these habits daily. They work on manipulating tempo, reading help defense, hitting shooters in rhythm, and running pick and rolls with multiple reads. They practice leading with their voice, staying poised under pressure, and controlling possessions late in games. It's not about flash. It's about precision, awareness, and decision-making at full speed. Now, here's a workout you can do to become an elite point guard. Go ahead and screenshot this and adjust it to your liking. If you've ever felt like you're not athletic enough or not fast enough to dominate as a guard, remember, most of the greats weren't either. Magic wasn't the quickest. Luka isn't the most explosive. Sue Bird wasn't the tallest. But what they all had was a high understanding of the game. They became masters of pace, precision, and presence. And that's something anyone can develop if they're willing to slow down and study the game on a deeper level. What makes these players elite isn't flashy highlights or viral clips. It's their discipline, how they prepare, how they think, and how they execute under pressure. They study film daily to spot patterns, learn defensive rotations, and memorize teammates' tendencies. They work on manipulating pace, changing speeds to keep defenders off balance, and using angles to create space instead of relying on pure athleticism. They use the dribble not just to get past someone, but to move the defense. A true point guard changes the atmosphere of a team. They bring structure when things get chaotic. They set the tone in huddles, on defense, and even during dead balls. When they're calm, everyone's calm. When they communicate, everyone's connected. That's real leadership. The truth is, the best point guards in the world don't just master skills, they master control. They command spacing, manipulate time, and elevate everyone around them. They make complexity look simple. They make chaos look organized. And the reason it seems effortless is because they've spent years training their awareness and decision-making. If you've made it this far, you probably love the game enough to want to understand it on that level. So here's my challenge. Next time you play, focus less on highlights and more on control. Talk on defense, direct traffic, manage tempo, lead with your voice. Every possession is a rep for your basketball IQ, because at the end of the day, you don't need to be the most athletic. You just need to make everyone around you better. That's the real job of a point guard. If you learned something from this breakdown, drop a comment telling me which point guard inspires your game the most. I want to hear your take. And if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.